Hello everyone, welcome to my SAP UI5 series. In this video, we will understand MVC architecture and lifecycle hooks in a simple way. These are very important concepts for the real projects. So let's get started. What is MVC model? So the model is responsible for managing the data and the business rules. It does not know what the UI looks like. Okay. It fetches the data from the database API or do the CRUD operations and handles validation logic. This is often your JSON objects, SQL queries, or data services. Then comes the view. View is what the user actually sees on their screen. It renders the data from the model into a format the user can interact with, like a table, a chart, or a form. This is nothing but HTML, CSS, or XML. Okay. So the view should be dumb. It should not contain logic like if total is greater than 100, calculate X and something like that. Okay. It just displays what's it's given. Then comes the controller. So controller is the brain or the middleman that connects the model and the view. It listens to events from the view like a button click and tells the model to update. It then takes the updated data from the model and refreshes the view. So it is nothing but your JavaScript code. So it handles the flow of the application. Okay. So this is what MVC model is. Then we will come to the lifecycle hooks on in SAP UI5. Okay. So first we will cover first I will let you understand the definition of it, and then we will do one example. Okay. So lifecycle hooks are the special methods that run automatically at different stages of a view. So there are four types of hooks. One is first is onInit, on before rendering, on after rendering, and last one is on exit. Okay. OnInit, we will talk about the onInit first. So the onInit lifecycle hook represents the model when the controller is created in memory. It's like the birth of your view logic. Okay. At this stage, the controller is ready to work with data, but it has not even loaded at the XML elements yet. This method runs only once when the view is first initialized, and it will not run again unless the entire application or view is reloaded. Okay. Uh, in real world scenarios, this is the best place to perform initial setup tasks such as calling an OData service or loading a JSON model. For example, fetching a list of employees from the SAP backend. You prepare all your data here before the UI is actually rendered and shown to the user. Once onInit hook is called, the UI frameworks read your view.xml file. It says, okay, I see a button, an input box, and a table. Now I need to prepare to turn these into HTML. Okay. So this is what happens in the onInit hook. Then comes the on before rendering. So this is the wait a second moment. The framework pauses for a millisecond before painting the pixels. It runs every time the view is rendered. But if you force a re-render, refreshing just the UI component without a browser refresh, onInit will stay quiet, but on before rendering hits again. Okay. So the real world example is, let's suppose you check a user's role. If they are not admin, you hide the button. You set up a button to visible equal to false. Okay. And once after on rendering hook, on before rendering hook, the framework paints the screen. It converts your UI5 control into actual HTML and CSS and places them on the DOM. Okay. Then next hook is on after rendering. It runs when your UI is fully loaded and visible on the screen. At this point, everything is ready and the user can interact with it. This method runs every time the screen finishes loading or reloading. It is mainly used when you want to work with actual HTML elements or DOM. For example, if you want the cursor to automatically blink inside an input box when the page opens, you can do it here in the onAfterRendering hook. Also, commands like document.getElement by ID or this.getView.get DOM reference works properly only in this stage because the UI is now completely rendered. Okay. Then last hook is onInit. It runs when your view or controller is being destroyed, like when the user closes the page or navigates to another screen. This is the final stage of the life cycle. Here, you should clean up everything you started earlier. Okay. For example, if you created a timer, interval, or any background process, you should stop it here so it does not keep running in the background. This helps avoid memory leaks and keeps the application fast and efficient. Okay. So this is what MVC model and lifecycle hooks are. So uh, let's try it with some example. Okay. So I have opened my business application studio. Here you can see this is the same project that we have created yesterday in the last video. Okay. So here if you see what we did is we have created one button, press button, and we have created one function on top of it where we were when user clicks on this button, we are popping this alert pops up and say this hello my first UI5 application. Okay. Now what I want is I want to use the hooks. Okay. First on in it. So here only we will write our code. Okay. So 1 second. Huh. So I will just start here. So this is on init. Then function. I will try go inside console.log on init hook loaded. Okay. Then I will call on before rendering hook. This is the function name. Sorry, hook name. You cannot change it. Okay. Function and then console.log on before rendering before UI shows. Okay. Then comes the on after rendering. Console.log on after rendering. UI is now visible. Okay. Then last comes is on exit. This will run once you close your page. Okay. Here you can uh, like close all the background jobs if you have started. View destroyed. Job stopped. Okay. And here we have to put the comma. Okay. So this is on init hook. So here what we are consoling it. Okay. Here you have to write your actual logic like you can define your OData models, JSON model, everything we can define it in this hook. Okay. Then on before rendering, you can like as we discussed earlier, we can hide the delete button. We can hide some buttons. We can do all those stuffs in this hook. And on after rendering is nothing but You can do you can UI is now visible and live, so you can do that focus example. Okay. And then last one is to like whenever you will leave the page, you want to clean up your resources like background jobs and all. Okay. So let's run this. So ideally it should come like first this console should be printed, then this one, and this will not never get printed until we close our page. Okay. Let's run our project npm start. It will load. Yeah. So UI application is loaded. Now let's go to our console. See, first on hook loaded method is called, hook is called, then on before rendering, okay, and then on after rendering. So this is how it works. And when we close our page, that console will come here, and like it will display hello, oh sorry, on exit, view destroyed, job stopped. Okay. So this is all about MVC and lifecycle hooks. Just remember init before after exits are very important, and you will use it in your real world projects. Okay. If you found this helpful, like and subscribe. See you in the next video.